Dear brothers, it's Monday and we are going to stop screwing around on Mondays. A lot of men that all of us see these days and that I see these days love to talk about what they want to do in life, but there is very little follow-up. Examples. We're talking about moving to a better school system, but I really don't know if we want to do that or not. I'm really considering making a career change or changing jobs at work. I would love to lose some weight, get in the gym, and I'm doing my research on all the different gyms and places I can go. I'm looking at a few different churches or men's groups that I'd love to join. Just haven't found the right one yet. I'm trying to find the right girl, how to date these days. And I keep finding, the internet or going to groups or whatever, but I'm looking into it. I'm researching it. I want to find good books to read before I ever think about reading my own. And I want to make a good outline before I write my own book, You hear men talk about making changes in their lives, and you are correct in that you should think deeply about all of the things in your life and try to make the best decisions possible for you and for your family. You should evaluate and scrutinize all of those decisions. There's no doubt about it. However, the issue that we face is that most men stop at the thinking part, and they never actually get to the action part in making a decision. They just let their thoughts and all of that knowledge they've built up sit in their heads and in their hearts, and that's just where it stays, locked up. It's like a prisoner. Their ideas are just hidden in darkness and never come out. The fear people have of that action keeps those ideas stuck in that cell. But what they don't understand is that the key to the cell is in their pocket, and they just don't want to take it out. Why? It comes down to fear. Fear of the responsibility which that action creates. I've talked about this already. We are not afraid of the thing. We are afraid of the responsibility and the higher version of ourselves that we then have to be responsible for. So what good is all this knowledge and thinking that you've done if you never put it into any kind of action? Make sure you guys understand something. Thought begets action. Action then begets value. Value to yourself, to your family, to the world, to business, etc. When you just have all these thoughts, but they have no action, you're wasting the gift of consciousness. And in my opinion, you're kind of spitting on all the gifts that God has given you. We are not just called to be thinkers, though that's crucial. We have to think. We have to ponder things. You shouldn't just be aimless or willy-nilly in your pursuits. But at some point, you can't just keep thinking. You've got to be men of action. Too many of us hide behind the fact that we're thinking about it. I'm thinking about the gym. I'm thinking about taking this girl out on a date. I'm thinking about making a career change. Oh, I'm thinking about getting up earlier in the morning. All you're doing is thinking. Essentially, all that does is it's buying you some time so that people will forget that you're essentially unable to make a decision. You put off the responsibility it creates and you procrastinate. The famous Stevie Prefontaine quote is, "To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." The first part of that is the most important, to give anything less than your best. Your best is not found in your thoughts. It's found in the action of giving yourself to a greater cause and to the people around you. All of you listening to this have unique gifts, God-given, moral, and beautiful gifts that the world needs. What good is the thought of starting that business if it just sits in your head? What good is the thought of being stronger and healthier? You never make it to the gym. What good comes from thinking about being more disciplined and getting up early and spending some more time with your kids or with your wife or in reading or writing? If you can't set the alarm and get up, what good comes from the idea that you can impact your company better or your family better if you're too damn scared to present these ideas to people? The thoughts and gifts that you are given are only as good as the actions which follow them. Everyone, including myself, needs to be better about being men of action. We can only think about what to do for so long. Eventually, thinking is just an excuse, and the world is already too full of men who love to make excuses. Not in this group of men listening to this podcast on a Monday morning, though. Take an inventory of the things that you have been thinking about. Write them down, put those bitches on the refrigerator or on your calendar or wherever the hell you are forced to look at them each and every day. Make a decision that's on that list. Tell a brother, tell someone on here, tell me that you're gonna make that decision, and then I need you to go and fucking do it. If we want collectively the better society that all of us do, not only for us, but for the next generation and the next generation, it starts with us men taking action and stop just thinking. The only failure that can occur out of this, by the way, is if you don't act on your goals and your thoughts. Failure is when you're sitting in the crowd while the real men are out running the race. And yes, they are going to get bloody and they're going to fall and people are going to point at them, but they're the ones that are making the impact. Not because they're better than you or they have better genetics or they were born into a better family or blah, blah, blah. But it's because they are willing to act. Give me a few of the dudes listening to this podcast today who want to act, and we can literally conquer anything in this world that gets thrown our way. Anything. Stop overthinking, throw on your shield, grab your sword, and get in the arena. I'll be right there with you. God bless, be strong, and let's crush this fucking Monday.